हेलो एंड वेलकम टू द कैनबिस नेटवर्क। मैं हूं आपका होस्ट डॉक्टर सिकंदर सिद्धू और आज के एपिसोड में मैं आप लोगों को कुछ ऐसे एग्जांपल्स दिखाना चाहता था जिसमें कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स ने कैंसर पेशेंट्स की हेल्प करी है और कैसे कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स कैंसर पेशेंट्स की हेल्प कर सकते हैं। हमारी पहले एग्जाम्पल के लिए मैं आपको एक वीडियो दिखाना चाहता था एक औरत की जिसका नाम है बर्नीस ओडोनल। बर्नीस के 2 छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे और तब उसे पता लगा कि उसे ब्रेस्ट कैंसर है। तो आइए देखते हैं बर्नीस की स्टोरी।
I felt like I had done everything in my life to try to avoid cancer. To say it was a shock is an understatement. I had 2 very young children. My daughters were 4 and 2 years old. And I was flawed. I didn't think that I would be a breast cancer patient.
जब बर्नीस को पता लगा कि उसे कैंसर है तो वो डॉक्टर्स के पास गई और डॉक्टर्स ने नेचुरली उसे कीमोथेरेपी रेकमेंड करी। कीमोथेरेपी जैसे कि हम सब जानते हैं अकेली नहीं आती, ये पूरी फैमिली ऑफ इश्यूज को, साइड इफेक्ट्स को लेके आती है और कुछ वैसा ही बर्नीस के साथ हुआ।
With chemo, I ended up being nauseous like so many other chemo patients, and to combat that, the doctors prescribed anti-nausea medication, which was helpful. However, with chemo, you end up having difficulty, for me at least, difficulty passing food. And then the anti-nausea medication made it even more challenging to pass food. Your life is not normal when you're going through treatment. But any benefit, anything that can make your life that much more comfortable is such a huge plus that it would be worth it to use it.
अब ये जानते हैं कि वो कौन से सिम्टम्स हैं कैंसर के जिसमें कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स सबसे ज्यादा इन पेशेंट्स की मदद कर सकते हैं।
Patients have been able to find relief from the side effects of chemotherapy by using medical cannabis. Relief for issues like pain, nausea, loss of appetite, and sleep disruption, as well as anxiety, and not to mention pain that may be associated with the cancer itself.
तो अब मैं आप लोगों को एक वीडियो दिखाना चाहता था एक औरत की जिसका नाम है शेरी एन बेकर, जिसे एक गोल्फ बॉल साइज, जो गोल्फ की जो गेंद होती है, उतना बड़ा ट्यूमर था उसके ब्रेन के अंदर। तो अब देखते हैं शेरी एन की स्टोरी और क्या हुआ जब उसे ये ट्यूमर डिटेक्ट हुआ।
Sherry Ann Baker is convinced that a form of cannabis oil called Rick Simpson has shrunk the remaining part of a golf ball-sized tumor in her brain. Her last MRI says that the tumor is completely cleared, and her most recent medical report even used words like unremarkable.
I do 1 gram of Rick Simpson oil a day, and this is keeping me alive. I had no radiation. I've had no chemo. I've refused it. They've pushed it on me several times, and I keep telling them absolutely not, because with my research and talking to other people, to doctors, other cancer patients, to growers, to activists, to God, there's so many of us out there. Cannabis heals.
तो जैसा कि आपने देखा, कैनबिस ने इतनी मदद करी शेरी एन की कि अब वो एक कैनबिस एक्टिविस्ट बन गई है और वो अपनी स्टोरी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहती है और अब वो अपने ही जैसे पेशेंट्स जो कैंसर जैसी बीमारियों से पीड़ित हैं उनकी मदद करती है ताकि वो कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स को ईजिली पा सकें और इस्तेमाल कर सकें।
I don't know if that'll ever become legal, and that's why we need people to listen to our stories, because it needs to be legal, and people need to start getting behind us and supporting us and helping us, because it is a cure for cancer, and there's hundreds if not thousands of people out there that are still living because of it but are too afraid to talk about it. But you know what, when I was told 2 years ago that I have 5 to 10 years to live at most, even with my tumor removed, I don't care if it's illegal or not, it's saving my life, and I'm going to tell as many people as I can. I work out every day. I was in the gym 2 weeks after I had brain surgery, okay? Seriously. And yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a process. I staggered and I stumbled, but I became strong because I had to become strong. And I became a fighter because I have to fight, because I want to live.
तो अब अगली वीडियो के लिए मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल दिखाना चाहता था एक आदमी का जिसका नाम है जोसेफ कसायस, जिसे भी ब्रेन ट्यूमर था। तो अब आइए जानते हैं कि क्या हुआ जब जोसेफ कसायस को ब्रेन ट्यूमर डिटेक्ट हुआ।
When I first thought I was sick, I was lost all my energy. I would cough up blood, and I would bleed out of my sinus, my nose constantly. I wouldn't stop, and they just, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. One day I went into the emergency room, and the doctor told me that I had a form of sinus cancer with a brain tumor.
He was in a lot of pain, so I would have to do a lot of things for him. I would get his coffee together for him because he needed that to wake up. I would help him get out of bed. I'd have his stuff ready for him.
I would weigh 210 pounds in high school, and I went down to nothing. I went down to nothing but skin and bone. My pain is in the back of my neck because the tumor has eaten through my bone marrow. I don't wish it on anybody. It's something that, you just pray and it just go away. I've tried liquid morphine, vitamins to Lortabs. I had to take pills round the clock every 4 hours. And they didn't always help.
तो अब ये जानते हैं कि कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स जोसेफ जैसे लोगों की मदद कैसे कर पाती है।
I felt less pain for sure. The pain would immediately just disintegrate.
He had his appetite back. He was able to interact more with us and our children.
They love to play with their dad, to play board games and things like that. And they love it, where I didn't have that relationship with them before.
तो जैसा कि आपने सुना, कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स बहुत ही इफेक्टिव हैं जोसेफ और उसके जैसे लोगों के लिए जो कैंसर जैसी बीमारियों से पीड़ित हैं। और अब जानते हैं इज़ीक्वल एडवर्ड्स, जो कि एक रिसर्च साइंटिस्ट हैं जो बहुत सालों से कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स के ऊपर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं कि कैसे कैनबिस ने कैंसर पेशेंट्स अमेरिका में उनकी मदद करी है।
There are between 750,000 and 1 million people in the United States using medical marijuana to treat serious illnesses such as cancer, AIDS, Lou Gehrig's disease, who are in great pain, who are suffering every day. The medication that they've been prescribed didn't work. Now they're taking medical marijuana, and finally, for the first time in their lives, some of that pain is relieved, and they're able to actually enjoy fuller, happier, healthier lives.
तो हमारी नेक्स्ट वीडियो के लिए मैं आपको दिखाना चाहता था एक एग्जाम्पल एक औरत का जिसका नाम है डेबोरा, जो ब्रेस्ट कैंसर नाम के कैंसर से पीड़ित थी। तो अब आइए जानते हैं डेबोरा की स्टोरी।
I'm Deborah Servetnik. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in 2011. And the thing about breast cancer is it's different than some other cancers because you don't have any pain, you don't have any real symptoms, and you just go for this mammogram, then you find out you have cancer. So the feeling sick part never really hits you until the chemo and the surgery and the radiation. And then it's like a Mack truck. So everything hit me all at once. And I remember crawling from my bed to the bathroom. I couldn't stand up. My hands were like this after chemo. I had sores all over my body, from my head to my toes. And I couldn't finish a sentence. And really, I couldn't finish a sentence until 2017, since I had chemo.
तो जैसा कि आपने सुना, डेबोरा को कोई भी तरह से किसी भी ओर से कोई मदद नहीं मिल पा रही थी। तो अब आइए ये देखते हैं कि क्या हुआ जब डेबोरा ने कैनबिस को ट्राई किया अपने सिम्टम्स को मैनेज करने के लिए।
And when I finally started treating with cannabis, things started to change. So because I was gluten-free, and I was gluten-free because of the number that chemo did to my stomach, it destroyed my stomach, and of course the opioids that I was given, which they would give me anything, but I never wanted to take them because I always had severe stomach pain from them. But I had all of them. I had hydrocodone, hydromorphone, I had Klonopin, I had Ativan, I had everything because I was so miserable, I wanted to die. And my daughter knew I wanted to die, and that's when I knew it was really bad, and I knew I had to do something. So I just really got off chemo and told my doctor I was going to get better anyhow. And I did, through cannabis. And it was a life changer. And I remember the days that I couldn't walk and I couldn't stand up. And I couldn't do any of that. And I had to lean against a wall. I went from room to room. And when I went back to work as a teacher, I had 3 chairs in my room because I couldn't make it across even my classroom. And when we had a fire drill, I fainted. And I couldn't do it. So weak from all that. But when I went to this meeting, I told them that. I guess it made a difference because I'm working at a dispensary. I'm coaching, life coaching, and cannabis coaching and health coaching there at a dispensary in Baltimore. And it's just the most wonderful feeling to know I can help people feel better even when medicine seems good, treatment seems good, the doctor's right there too, but there's just something that's missing. They're not getting better. It's cannabis. And I went to Annapolis to testify because it was so important to me. It became so important. And I remember hearing Charlotte Figge's mother speak the day I was there. And I remember thinking that I'm going to work in a dispensary. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to really help people that really need this.
तो जैसे कि आपने सुना, जब डेबोरा को कैनबिस ने इतनी मदद करी तो डेबोरा को लगा कि वो अपनी लाइफ कैनबिस और कैनबिस की इंफॉर्मेशन को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए डेडिकेट कर देगी। तो अब क्या आप एक ऐसा कोई पैटर्न देख पा रहे हैं जो दोहराया जा रहा हो? एक पेशेंट जिसको कोई बहुत ही भयंकर बीमारी जैसे कैंसर होती है, जिसकी कोई मदद नहीं कर पाता, जिसकी एलोपैथी कोई मदद नहीं कर पाती, वो कैनबिस ट्राई करता है। और जैसे ही वो कैनबिस ट्राई करता है, उसे इतना इफेक्टिव लगता है कैनबिस कि ना केवल वो अपने लिए यूज करता है, वो कैनबिस एक्टिविस्ट बन जाता है। तो मेरे ऐसे लोग अपना काम छोड़ के वीडियोस बनाते हैं, लोग मैक्सिमम लोगों को एजुकेट करने के लिए, ताकि आपको और हर उस आदमी को जिसे कैनबिस और कैनबिस के प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचनी चाहिए, हम उन तक पहुंचा सकें। तो अगर आप हमारी मदद करना चाहते हैं, प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों के साथ शेयर करिए, क्योंकि हमें नहीं पता कौन सा ऐसा पेशेंट जो कैंसर या ऐसी कोई बीमारी से पीड़ित हो, जिसे कोई मदद ना कर पा रहा हो, जिसे शायद ये वीडियो जब मिले तो वो इन प्रोडक्ट्स को यूज़ करे और उसकी लाइफ में एक कंप्लीटली पॉजिटिव चेंज आता है। क्योंकि अब ये प्रोडक्ट्स इंडिया में थ्रू आउट हर स्टेट में अवेलेबल हैं। वेबसाइट्स जैसे कि www.cbdstoreindia.com। तो अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो, प्लीज़ लाइक बटन दबाइए। अगर आप हमारे साथ जुड़े रहना चाहते हैं तो प्लीज़ हमारा सब्सक्राइब बटन दबाइए। और अगर आप ऑलरेडी सब्सक्राइब्ड हैं तो बेल आइकॉन को ज़रूर दबाइएगा, ताकि जब हम एक नया वीडियो अपलोड करें आपको नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाए। तो इस वीडियो के लिए इतना ही। मैं आपको मिलूंगा अगली वीडियो में। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।